Story time. While doing this spooky makeup tutorial of how I grew up loving Halloween in a country that didn't even know what Halloween was. I was born in a typical household in the Soviet Union, and I continued to live there until I was about 6, and then, no, I did not move. I still live roughly in the same area. However, the Soviet Union ceased to exist. But that doesn't mean that we all of a sudden became magically aware of all the Western holidays. And even though I was already learning English, nobody in my family or school talked about that, so I wasn't aware either. Oh boy, I wish I were aware as a little kid. Let me know, by the way, if you celebrated Halloween as a little kid. But then something happened which I feel changed my personality in so many ways, honestly. When I was about 8, I started going to this English school, which wasn't exactly like a school, meaning I still went to the usual school in the morning, studied different subjects, and had constant fights about it with my mom, which remind me to tell you this story one day, because it's not what you think. And then after that school, in the evening, I went to my English school twice a week. And I guess there were several reasons why it was named school and not just courses. One of them being that the program was actually meant for all the years that you were in school. So it wasn't like a yearly or bi-yearly thing. It was for like 10 years. So it wasn't just the grammar and the vocabulary that we studied, but also the history, the culture, that kind of thing. And among other bonuses, we had native speakers in the school who were coming for a semester, sometimes for a year, for a couple of years. They came from the US, from the UK, and of course they brought their culture with them, which is what the school wanted exactly. And in the autumn of 2nd grade, one of them told us about Halloween and said that we would have a Halloween party. And baby, I was fascinated. I loved the idea of dressing up as some spooky monster or some evil character so much. I guess because we don't have anything like that in our culture. You can dress up for New Year as a little kid, I guess, but that's usually some obviously winter and positive character, and never as a little monster, which we all were. And let's face it, I probably still am. Our parents obviously had to make us costumes because you couldn't really buy a Halloween costume. Poor parents. And for my first Halloween time ever, I was a ghost. My best friend was a pumpkin. The 2nd grade Halloween party was a blast. Everybody had a costume. And these weren't just the costumes, of course. There was also trick-or-treating and candy and all that. We as kids had so much fun, but also our parents were curious. And the next year's party was a blast. And that is also where I first came to learn about the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. So unlike most Soviet girls, I did get to watch it as a kid. On one of the years, it was actually our homework to watch that movie and practice our English. I have to say, I didn't understand all of it from the first time, but I still loved it. I cannot even describe how unusual this movie felt to me. It was something so different from what I've ever seen. And you get to realize that, oh my god, Halloween is such a big thing that there are even movies about it. I understand that if you're from the US, you're probably listening to this like, duh. But that was not my reality. To me, it was a discovery. Ever since the first party in the English school, I started celebrating Halloween religiously. Well, not in the literal sense, but me, I loved it. And I educated other people about it, like my classmates or just people in the street. Because if you were walking the streets dressed like a monster back then, people were like, what the heck? And that might also be why I have such an archaic view of Halloween. The old school view of dressing spooky for the holiday. I mean, I know you can dress up as Cinderella and that will be fine, and I have nothing against that, but for me, I prefer something scarier, creepier, spookier, like a villain perhaps, because this was the main part of the fascination of the holiday for me, I guess, and also because I was not evolving with the holiday because I've never lived in a country where it was actually popular. And if you want to see more tutorials for the holiday, most of which are on the spooky side, but a lot of them are spooky cute, then check out this tutorials playlist and I'll meet you there. Bye!